are back with another jam-packed episode of Lunes Live. Your favorite Compas got you covered with all of our NFL Week 9 takeaways. Plus, the Chargers take care of business in Nashville. But what did it cost? Is basically the question we have to all be asking, especially with the news that came out of El Segundo with Joe Alt being out for the rest of the year with an ankle injury. And then obviously the Rams steamrolled former Chargers quarterback's defense or head coach's defense at SoFi Stadium. So, that one I had to do. But definitely an interesting weekend, Gilbert. Man, is this the Bills' year? What happened to some of the other teams that we all know? I'm interested.
Annoying me out the bat, Fernando. This team has beaten the Chiefs in the regular season 5 years in a row. Get out of here.
Whoa. But the Chiefs were back, and all of a sudden they're not back.
I won't stop you there. I actually have things to say about that. I'm with you there.
Okay, I'm interested to see because Fernando's been saying,
I picked the Bills. Let's keep it real. I picked the Bills.
No, you did. But you know what's funny? Dan,
with that, I just don't
Dan
know.
told me reverse curse. He decided to choose the Chiefs for reverse curse. So we'll talk about that. Gilbert, let's just start off right off. Oh, well, do you have an engagement question for our viewers and or listeners?
Yeah, actually, I have multiple. One that I just thought about because I had to set up my stupid antenna. Does anybody else have the problem that I have? I have YouTube TV, the stupid dispute with ESPN. I had to get an antenna to watch it on ABC. So, and I'm talking about Monday Night Football, Cardinals against the Cowboys. Am I the only one that's being screwed over here by greedy people? Let me know in the comments. And then also, who has a better chance? Here's an engagement question of the week. Who has a better chance from the LA quarterbacks to win MVP? Is it Matthew Stafford? Is it Justin Herbert? If Justin Herbert guides this crippled team to the playoffs, maybe it's that guy. And then Matthew Stafford having a great season so far for the Rams. Let me know in the comments. Pedro, that would have been an option too, but I'm actually intrigued to see how I feel about the antenna. I won't say that I've done
this
stuff
bastard's
like
that. This bastard's gonna be 30 seconds ahead of all of us.
Yeah, that's why
I can't remember what game Gilbert was covering at home one time. And
during COVID.
Yeah, during COVID, and you were like beating all of us because they were obviously nobody traveled on away games, but you were beating the shit out of us in everything. Like you're like Justin Herbert throws a touchdown, and then we look, we're like, what the hell's going on?
It's funny that you bring that up because that was the last time I was using an antenna, and that was like the first season that I cut the cord. I went away from like DirecTV or cable. I was using everything to stream, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna watch some of these local games because I didn't pay for. There was like no YouTube TV back then. I didn't want to pay for Sling, and all the local Charger channels all the Charger games were on local TV. So I got the antenna, and everybody was like, what the hell? Like I'm 5 minutes ahead from everybody, so it was good. Yeah, good for my tweets.
Bastard. By the way, what the hell does Jerry Jones know? Did you hear what he said today on the local radio station?
Yeah, which I think I'm gonna have to write about it tonight. I'm covering obviously Cowboys Cardinals for my couch, and I'm like, this game is so boring. But it's also classic, boxing promoter Conor Barker, Jerry Jones. We're like, I'm intrigued. What do you got here? And I think I'm gonna write today, depending on the game goes. Like, if he's throwing money for like a Trey Hendrickson, or a Max Crosby, what are we doing here? Like.
It's gonna be like that. Remember when they traded for that receiver? They gave up a 4th round draft for that Panthers receiver. Yeah, he's gonna pull some bullshit like that, and everybody's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, it could either be something like that, which I think will be better for the Cowboys, or spend all the resources you got from the Michael Parsons trade to get a player who's lesser than Michael Parsons. That would not make sense. I will bury this team if you get an older Trey Hendrickson. You give up some of your draft capital, and when you could have just paid Michael Parsons. So to me, if they go that route, he's going to get crushed. If you go for the, a day 3 pick compensation, sure, it's fine. But also you hyped it up for nothing.
Pepe Le Pew Pew, who wants to watch the Cowboys? Nobody. That's why I'm going to be watching Netflix at 5 p.m. John Cena's last Monday Night Raw in Boston. So I'm definitely going to be watching that to see what that's like. Man, but if he pulls some BS, Gilbert, I'm going to be pissed because I'm interested. If he pull
It's gonna get Logan Wilson
I
for a day.
I saw somebody put up that maybe it was Minka Fitzpatrick, but I'm like, but Minka's not like your issue is the pass rush. Unless he does a 2-for-1, Bradley Chubb and Minka, but even that's not really
Just wave the white flag on the season. You already did the trade. You gutted this team. Don't try to save it by going into maybe a wild card team. Who cares?
Can I tell you what the 2 days that I hate? I know you hate what day is it that you hate?
I hate this time of year. I hate
okay, so I hate today because you got a bunch of no names tweeting out. Sources tell me that the Cowboys are close to getting Max Crosby. I'm
it's
like
they wanted free agency, right? When it's about to open.
There's 3 times that I hate because regular fans try and act like they're media members and they're not. Well, that's 365, but that's a different story. The day that free agency starts, I hate that because fans start tweeting out, "Oh, I'm hearing that the Cowboys have, or that I don't know, the Tennessee Titans are going to sign George Pickens to a record-breaking deal," and then people get fooled, and it's not true. Then I hate draft night because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this team's going to trade up." They don't end up trading up, and then today I hate it as well. So it's just crazy. But Gilbert, obviously, yesterday when Dan and I recorded the episode of the Chargers beating the Tennessee Titans 27-20, it wasn't like it was like, yeah, they won, but they really lost. They lost Joe Alt, their left tackle. And Jim Harbaugh went in front of the media about an hour ago or 2 hours ago and basically said that their tackles are Pipkins, Austin Deculus, Jamari Sawyer, and Foster Sarrell.
Ugh.
I'm kind of like,
stop naming names. It's horrendous. We know.
And somebody said it like it would be malpractice, and I get it. They don't have that much money, but restructure one of these guys. Like, do something to bring in some. Like, even if it's like, okay, so like the other guys are kind of like crap. Bring in something between great and not crap. Like, you need a happy medium between those guys because your season, again, like you could be wasting another year of Herbert's prime. Now, I'll be honest, Gilbert, and again, it goes with the engagement question. If Herbert gets this team into the Jeffrey, don't mention Forrest Lamp again. Oh my God, I can't remember that. I couldn't believe that. If Herbert gets this team, if he limps into the playoffs, because they have 6 wins so far, if he limps them into the playoffs with 10 or 11 wins, I think MVP would have to be like in there just because, man, it's been a rough season for them. And I mean, you start off 3-0 in the division, you do well, and then all of a sudden it just goes to complete shit. And
maybe leave those links up for people who have YouTube TV because we might need something.
True. That's true. Kidding. And the crazy part is, Gilbert, is that it's not like he has, like, it's not like they have an okay offensive line. Like, it's one of the worst in the NFL. Yeah. Mekhi Becton keeps on missing. There's been stuff with him, so there's been a little craziness
around the field. I just think about some of the things I've heard.
Well, and that's I know exactly. And the crazy part is, Gilbert, too, I think it's a little irresponsible of Jim to still be throwing out Bradley Bozeman, where there's times where he's getting catapulted into Justin Herbert, and Herbert is trying to be the good soldier that he is and saying, no, I think the offensive line is doing a great job blocking for me, this, that. But, man, that guy, I think they should do a stat. There's times where Herbert runs 30 yards to just run 5 yards and then slide because that's how much under duress he is. And yesterday, I'll admit it, he started off really ugly. He had the one pick 6 that I was kind of like, wow, you just completely stared down. Like, I'm just not used to seeing Herbert throw. Yeah, I'm not used to seeing Herbert throw like that. So I was just really surprised. And then they turned it around. They kind of bring it back, and they're able to win that game. Again, a very, very, very ugly game. But it's just one of those things where you're potentially about to waste another year of Justin Herbert. And hey, you have the Steelers coming in who just beat the crap out of Danny Dimes and the Colts. And obviously, I think the Steelers play worse when they're on the road, but I don't know how much of a road game this is going to be because I'm sure there's going to be multiple. A couple of players from Dan's team are Steelers fans, and they're already talking about how they're going to the game. So yeah, Gilbert, I don't know what your thoughts are. The Ravens are trading for Titans edge Draymond Jones, sending a conditional 5th rounder.
Well, let's hurry up before I have to be called on for work. But
he had 2.5 sacks yesterday in the game against the Chargers.
I might disappear in a bit. I might disappear in a bit, but let me give you my thoughts here until I get this message from work. Then maybe they're watching on live. Anyways,
that's not a big deal. Work, by the way, that's not a big deal.
Yeah. Anyways, I get what you're saying. They have to go and get help for Justin Herbert, but there's a lot of good in that and also a lot of bad. And it reminds me similar to what the Vikings did last year with Christian Darrisaw when he went down and they went to go get Cam Robinson. There's guys like that who are serviceable. There was a serviceable. There you go. But also could be a liability at the same time. And you never know when that wall is going to come crashing down. And it happened to Sam Darnold in the 2 biggest games of the year. Week 18 against the Lions, and then the wildcard game against the Rams. But to me, I think in terms of talking about the Chargers, like Super Bowl contenders, that at least to me is out the window. But to get the Chargers into the playoffs, it's still alive. It's still definitely an option here. So you got to do something, like you mentioned, maybe potentially borderline malpractice if you keep trying out this offensive line for Justin Herbert. The problem is good tackles don't grow on trees. Dan Day will be first to tell you that. It's been kind of an epidemic here where they're not developing offensive linemen in the league. So, yeah, I saw the Commanders are ready to make a deal. Anybody who's losing and has a lineman who might not be re-signed or has been going through some ups and downs, like this is the time where you trust your scheme. You trust your coaching staff and you say, hey, that guy sucks over there, but we could get something out of him over here, and then they take a chance. So they're not going to be a talent. Joe Alt is a freaking all-pro talent. Like he would have been an all-pro if he would have stayed healthy. And it just sucks for the Chargers where your skills and your strength was a tackles and both of them are out and you don't know what you're going to do or how are you going to adjust. So to me, it just sucks. As a fan of football, I know linemen don't get love, but Joe Alt is so awesome to watch. So it sucks, but you got to do something, Fernando. But also maybe it's time to lower the ceiling a bit for the playoffs. I know I'm being a downer, but that's a reality check, and I'm living in it.
You said playoffs. You don't think they can make the playoffs?
They can make the playoffs. Yeah, they're in a good spot. Okay. They're 6-3.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they're gonna make any noise. Like maybe you win the game with the.
If they win a game with this offensive line, then shit, give them all the credit that they want.
Well, and again, there's a couple problems. Like if you win the division, I could see a lengthy run. Yeah. If you get wild card, I could maybe see you beating up on one of the new teams that are not as experienced. Like imagine a Jim Harbaugh coach team that has to deal. Like you say you're the Colts and you're the freaking, or the Patriots. We're just new to being a good team. A Jim Harbaugh coach team will probably eat you alive in a playoff game. I know it didn't really happen last year with the Texans, but that's a different story. But in terms of lengthy playoff run, I just don't see it. I don't know how they're going to do it, Fernando. Maybe they get hot with Justin Herbert. Maybe they do something, but that's just me.
Well, and after the bye, they're supposed to get Omarion back. I think that's definitely going to help. If Kimani can keep up what he's been doing, even though it's kind of been up and down with him, we'll see. But I definitely agree with you. I think they could be a playoff team. It's just going to be how much are they able to go. Real quick, over to the Rams. There's not much you can really say about this game. They just shellacked these guys. The one thing I'll say, Gilbert, that Devontae Adams, Matthew Stafford relationship is growing more and more.
Here, let me stop you, Fernando. If you want to have Vic to talk on for a little bit, and I'll come back in 30 minutes to try to get the back end of the show, but I got to go. Sorry, guys. Breaking news. I hate stupid trades. I hate this time of year. Goodbye.
Adios. All right. Let us bring in Vic. That's not Gilbert. That's Vic.
Yep. We're just going to have to roll with this.
Yeah, no, you're good. Matthew Stafford had what was it? It was a stat. He threw 3 touchdown passes in the first half. That was the second time he's done that in the season, and I think he tied somebody's record. I just can't remember who it was. It was somebody pretty interesting, but
I mean, he's got 9 touchdowns in the last 2 games. And he's got 21 and 2 interceptions on the season. So
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
he is the guy that nobody's talking about for MVP because they're like, oh well, it's Sean McVay's system, I'm sure. But I definitely, and then Kyron actually got the ball rolling a little bit. Did you
yeah, they
see
had
what
177 yards rushing. I think he had 114 of them. So I mean,
yeah. Did
and
you
they had 7 Matthew Stafford hit 7 different receivers. I guess the only bad thing is that Puka left with the upper body injury,
that
but
that's starting? I think they should shut him down for a bit and just let him get healthy and let
well,
him get going.
that was the question that I was
I
gonna
didn't
have
know.
for you.
I
Oh,
did
yeah,
not know Draymond Jones trade implied him having to leave. That's
yeah. I mean, that's the thing, and that's the reason why he does hate this time of year. He's
Oh no,
like,
I know, but I was just like Draymond, like he did well yesterday, but I'm kind of like, But going back to my bad, go ahead back to
no, I wanted to ask you this because we talked about it on House of Horns, and I just wanted to get your perspective on this. Um, how important are the next 3 weeks? Because we know what Gilbert's been saying about the Rams. He doesn't believe that they are a Super Bowl contender just because of some of the deficiencies. And one of them showed up yesterday, and that was their kicking game. I mean, they continue to
yeah.
have issues with their kicking game. So my question to you, the next 3 games are the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Buccaneers.
Huge.
What are those going to tell you, Fernando, about the Rams?
Jerry Jones is kissing babies. He's loving on people. Like he must know. Like, well, obviously he's gonna know, but I'm seeing it right now. He sees something. He knows something. So Jesus. I think they're huge. I think if you can come out 2-1 out of that, I think you're in a perfect spot. Is it at Seahawks or is it at home?
Yeah, so it's at the 49ers this week. Then they have 2 home games against the Seahawks and against the Buccaneers the following 2 weeks.
That's tough. That's gonna be
Yeah.
really
And
tough. What's up,
I've
Angel?
given you I've given you the record for Mike McDonald since he's become. They've
Yeah.
only lost once on the road.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
That's gonna
even
be
becomes even more tougher.
and then that's a Sunday night game against the Buccaneers. You're about to play 3 defenses that like to punch you in the mouth.
Yep.
So I'm really interested to see what way they handle that. And then no Puka. If Puka does not play in those games, that's going to be a little bit rough. But I think this is going to be very telling. Eric was right. I don't know if you saw Eric's tweet yesterday.
Yes.
And he said if the Rams want to be a Super Bowl contender, kicking is an issue. Kicking, we've seen for years that if you don't have a good kicker, you are not going to go very far because there's times where your kicker is needed to win you a game or make that long field goal to kind of put the game out of reach. So I definitely think that kicking is a big one. Their secondary help, I think they still need some of it. Obviously, yesterday with Tyler Shough, it didn't really show up, but I definitely think that that the Seahawks, 49ers, and the Bucks are going to give them trouble, especially because Baker should be getting some weapons back for that game, and obviously Mike Evans is still a ways
I got it.
away. Okay, thank you. He's still a ways away from coming back, but yeah, no, that I think that's their season. Well, no, they're 6-2, but you said for Super Bowl. For Super Bowl, yes. For Super Bowl, it is huge for that. But for playoffs or any of that, I don't think it is because I still think that they have a favorable schedule to end the season and they can still make it. But these next 3 games are going to tell us a lot about where they're headed. So yeah, I'm interested to see what way they decide to go. But yeah, we're starting to hit the important stretch of the playoffs. So I'm definitely yesterday I didn't really keep an eye on the Rams game. I'm kind of like I already know they're gonna smoke these guys, but these next 3 games I'm definitely gonna keep a watchful eye because I'm interested to see what those guys do, especially like I said, it seems like slowly but surely Matthew Stafford's starting to gain a relationship with Devontae Adams, and that's gonna be huge moving forward.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, that was the biggest takeaway. Is like, I don't, outside of what Matthew Stafford has been doing these last 2 games, for me, it's getting ready for the next 3 games because it's a gauntlet, and you have a revenge game against the 49ers after they embarrassed you at home on a Thursday night. Now you get a whole week to prepare for them. And I made a
Is
joke.
Brock Purdy back?
Not yet, and it's starting to sound like they just want to roll with Mac Jones. And I wanted to ask Gilbert about it. Maybe we get into it tomorrow.
JJ McCarthy 2.0.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that whole quarterback thing. And I mean, we know how much Kyle Shanahan loves Mac Jones, and
Yeah,
I know they just paid Brock Purdy, so it's just something to kind of keep an eye on. But
well, it's crazy because that's what happened with the Chargers, is that Rashawn Slater goes down as soon as they pay him, and now the question is, well, they love Joe Alt at left tackle. Could they keep him at left tackle, move Rashawn inside? Because I know a lot of people were poo-pooing Mike Silver's article a couple of weeks ago where he said, hey, they may move him to center, they move him to guard. Obviously, the Twitter coaches were like, no, there's no way they're going to do that. His price tag is too high. You don't know that. Jim's a psycho. Jim might do that. And especially because I know that injury that Rashawn has, they say that sometimes you don't completely gain everything back from what you were as a player. So they could potentially decide, hey, you know what? Without going guard, he doesn't have to move as much as he does as a left tackle. So maybe moving him to left guard. I mean, hell, if you have a left guard of Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt, that left side is just completely different. But then same thing with the 49ers. They paid Brock Purdy, and now but Mac Jones has been balling ever since he took over. I mean, I think he's only lost one game?
Yeah, he was only lost that one game against they lost to
the Bucks.
And who else did they? And they lost to the Texans. They've lost twice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that Texans game was BS. They almost came back and beat those Texans. So yeah, I completely agree with that. But all right, damn, I wanted to get Gilbert's thoughts on this, but
yeah,
if he doesn't come back,
okay.
No.
We have tomorrow anyway.
Tomorrow.
So
I want to get your thoughts though. Is it the same old thing between the Bills and the Chiefs? Because look, I've been saying that Chiefs team can be had. They are yesterday, especially, like, they have McDuffie, but they don't have another corner to kind of help them out. I don't think their team is good enough to cover tight ends, and they got exposed yesterday when it came to that. I thought the Bills had an answer for every time the Chiefs kind of got revved up. I was impressed by the Bills yesterday, but then I think to myself, well, shit, I was impressed last year when they beat them at this time too, but they didn't have Rashee Rice last year. This year they had Rashee Rice. I still think the Bills are going to make a move or two, because I think, and again, if Ed Oliver is able to come back, because I know Ian tweeted out that Ed Oliver is going to try and give it a go for the first round of the playoffs. So again, going back to this, I was impressed by the Bills yesterday, especially because guys like Joey Bosa, some of their pass rushers were getting in there and trying to disrupt Mahomes. The only thing is, obviously, in the playoffs, the Chiefs step up their intensity. But I got to say, maybe I'm falling for it again, but I was impressed by the Bills. And the Chiefs, I still have question marks about them moving forward. Your thoughts?
I thought this game meant more to the Bills. Just going forward, just because of what we've seen so far this season. And I get it. The Chiefs just turn it on when it comes. They and I, we had this conversation before the season started when it came to the Dodgers, in terms of, these championship teams, man, they know how to turn it on. And I get it. It's already been 5 years where they've just been in the playoffs, and they know as long as they get in. The problem is, Fernando, is I wonder, are they going to be able to get in to the playoffs? Because
that's an honest question.
Yes, I mean, they're out of the playoff picture right now, right?
They're the 8th or 9th seed, because the Jaguars if the Jaguars would have lost to the Raiders, they're the 7th seed still. But now that I think the Jaguars are in,
right, and they have the tiebreaker over them because they beat them.
Yeah. And then listen to this schedule that they have left, Vic. They're in the bye week right now. At Broncos, The Colts come there. At Cowboys on a short week. Texans come there. Chargers come there. At Titans.
And then they finish
Titans,
with the Raiders. I know
they
that.
go Broncos come there, and then they finish at the Raiders. Not even that Raider game is going to be a gimme, to be honest. I think they and Mahomes said it after the game. He said we're in playoff mode now because if we lose 3 more games, what if they lost 3 more games? They'd be at 7, so they'd be the best they could do is 10-7. So I'm definitely interested to see what they're gonna look like, especially with some of the injuries that they've had. Their defense is still a little up and down. I know they're looking for defensive line help. I wonder if anybody's gonna help them this year with any of those trades. But what else did you make of that game?
Yeah, in terms of the Bills, the Bills losing, you brought up Ed Oliver, and I thought Joey Bosa played a great game in this matchup, and I thought you mentioned and you put it on the rundown. This was one of the worst Mahomes games I've seen. I couldn't believe it. I mean, he has no touchdowns at all. What did he end up with? I mean, he ended up
250, 15 for 34. 250 and an interception. But the thing is, and it's like I've been saying, Vic, he's going back to that old Mahomes where he's trying to go down the field. Sometimes you can't do that. You have to look, check downs, do the stuff that you were doing. Xavier Worthy at the running back spot next to you, you check it down to him, stuff like that. Like, they need to go back to that kind of stuff if they really want to win. But yeah, and Brett's right, they have no pass rush either. So yeah, it's definitely been a rough go for them.
Yeah, and then the other thing too, it looked like reminiscent to what we saw against the Buccaneers. The Bills had him running around, and that pass rush got to him as well. And so I think that's the other thing too. They better hope they get into the playoffs, because I mean, right now it's not looking good. And shout out to the Bills. But my thing is, like, if I'm the Bills, I'm like, look, we won this game. You know, now you're looking up at the Patriots, which is weird. Like, the Patriots just continue to win, and you know, we'll talk about it later on when it comes
Patriots, Colts, and Steelers are the ones leading
the Broncos
AFC. And the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, if who had that? I mean, at the beginning of the season. So I just that's crazy. But it's a good win for the Bills, but they've had, you know, some terrible losses, and so we'll see what happens the rest of the way. But for them, you know, like you said, they need to get home field advantage and make sure that they have it in the playoffs. And hopefully one of these teams kind of starts to falter. That loss by the Colts really helps the Bills. Now they just gotta they gotta hope that the Patriots lose one of these games coming up. They have the Patriots have the Buccaneers coming up this weekend.
Who does?
The Patriots Bucks this weekend.
Oh shit, that's gonna be a good. Oh, is it at 1:00?
I think it's at 10 a.m. because the 1:00 game is Rams 49ers. It's gonna be the Rams 49ers is the 1:25 game. Check me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's the earlier game.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a 10 a.m. game. Yeah, and
then I'm driving up to Steelers Chargers.
Yeah, we also get Eagles Packers on Monday Night Football. Yeah, because I was already working on the rundown for tomorrow, and I was like, oh, we got some good games coming up in week 10.
The cheese-eating bastard's going to be very interested in that game because they lost to the Panthers. That was rough.
Yeah. We talked about it on the betting show. That was like our main headline coming in. We talked about it, and Gilbert was on it. He said, don't trust the Packers, and sure enough, that's what happened.
And then they lost their tight end for the season. You know, what's funny, if I was a contender right now and he's yelling right now at his teammates, I would trade for Calais Campbell if you need defensive line help. At 39 years old.
I can't believe he's still playing, and he's playing at an elite level. I don't understand how he ends up being a free agent every year.
I know.
And nobody offered, like, if I'm a contender, why don't you go and sign him?
I would trade for him right damn now. I'd be like, you know what, bring him in.
Remember what happened last season? He was with the Dolphins. right? And because the Dolphins were still in the thick of things, he said, "No, it's okay. I won't trade. This time, if you're the Cardinals, just do him the solid." And the same thing,
I,
we talked about it too
yeah.
with when we were previewing the Saints. We talked about Cam Jordan. If I'm Cam Jordan, I'm like, look, just go and win a championship somewhere.
No, and that's the thing is that, and I remember I wrote last year that, or I wrote in the offseason, the Chargers should offer Calais Campbell a contract. And fans are like, he's old. I'm like, yeah, but he can still bang like this dude. But I mean, some Charger fan was right. I remember he tweeted or he put in the comment section as like, he's like, knowing this team, Calais Campbell will come in, he'll play really well for 3 weeks, and then he'll blow out his knee, and that's all she wrote. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, that's rough. But I do agree with the whole Chiefs Bills. Can you do it in the playoffs? Because again, the Bills are my team to go to the Super Bowl and win it, just because of that aspect where I know that this is kind of the Bills, like this is their last day. Like, it would be irresponsible if the Bills get knocked out again by the Chiefs and they keep Sean McDermott another year.
Oh yeah.
Like we're at the point now where either give it to Joe Brady or give it to somebody else who you believe is ready for it. But you're kind of at that point where you need them to finally win that game. But all right, let's move over
to the next step. You're right. Yeah, that's honestly,
yeah. No, they
that's
have
the
to.
biggest-
Sometimes that's what happens. Remember the God, who was the head coach of the Colts? Or no, sorry, Tony Dungy was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It wasn't working. Yeah. It wasn't working. They bring in John Gruden, and boom, they make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Did he know some of the calls on the Raiders side? Yeah, he did. But they still thrashed the Raiders here in San Diego, and they won. Shit, the thing that happened with the Raiders center, that was
with Barrett Robbins. My comp is the one I always think about is Del Harris getting replaced by Phil Jackson. Like Del Harris took the Lakers, that young team, as far as he could take them, and then they're like, you know what? Let's go get Phil Jackson, and the rest is history.
His book is a mind F. I read his book. That's a mind F. Like I read his, and then I read God, what's his name from John Wooden. Those two books were
The Pyramid of Success.
Oh, it's a great book. It's a great book. I mean, I remember I had to read it for my master's program, and I was like, wow, like this is great. What the hell happened yesterday, man? The Minnesota Vikings upset the Lions 27-24.
This is another one that Gilbert called. He called.
Oh, Gilbert can kiss my ass. I had said that the Detroit Lions were not doing too well, but no, I'm kidding. He returns. JJ McCarthy, like maybe sitting behind and watching, kind of helped him out, because he came out swinging 14 of 25, 130, 143, 2 touchdowns. They had an okay run game with Aaron Jones. On the other side, Jared Goff, 25 of 37, 284, 2 touchdowns, but it just wasn't enough. They couldn't get their running backs going. Gibbs, 9 carries, 25 yards. David Montgomery, 11 carries, 40 yards, 1 touchdown. Vic, what did you think of this game?
This one was impressive, just to see JJ McCarthy return and kind of quiet a lot of his critics. I know that there was a bunch of stuff from people, and I think that was kind of irresponsible of people to say that, hey, maybe he wasn't hurt. And like the way he got emotional about that.
Are you talking about David Chow, Mr. Chow? Or,
have you? Chow? I mean, I don't want to change the subject here, but have you seen what's been going on with him and
Ryan Leaf?
Ryan Leaf.
I will say, an individual that I know, that Gilbert knows, he was around the organization around that time, and he's like, some of the stuff Ryan Leaf is saying is not completely far-fetched, but Ryan Leaf is also like batshit crazy as well. But real quick, Vic, I will say what happened with the Raiders center. So before the Super Bowl in San Diego, allegedly the center had found out that his wife had been cheating on him, I think.
Well, he ended up in TJ. We know that.
But allegedly it was that his wife had cheated on him. he went to TJ. He had popped some stuff. He went to TJ. He celebrated. He went crazy. They finally found him a couple days later, and they were like, "What were you celebrating?" He's like, "We won the Super Bowl." They're like, "Bro, you missed the Super Bowl, and we got our asses handed to us."
Yeah.
So it was pretty interesting. That it's a crazy story. Just look up Raider Center's story before
Barrett
the
Robbins.
Super Bowl. What's
Yeah.
the name?
Barrett Robbins.
Barrett Robbins. There you go. It was
Yep.
it was crazy. So but yeah. Okay, Vic, my bad. Go ahead with
sorry,
JJ.
but getting
What
back
did
to it,
Gilbert say about it?
he said that we were during our preview show for the gambling episode, he talked about the Vikings here having a chance to upset and keeping it close. He did pick this as his super, what is it? Our what do we call it? Our super dog contest, which where it's you pick a line that's 4.5 or more.
Yeah.
And he ended up picking the Vikings here, and they got him 10 points. But getting back to JJ McCarthy, I thought if he can play as well as he did in this game, and I read Gilbert's article, he makes a great point. It kind of opens up the NFC North now, especially with the Bears winning at 5-3, and the other two teams losing, the Packers and the Lions. It kind of opens up the rest of this division. So I do want to kind of get into it tomorrow when he's back, because I want to know where
Cincinnati,
you
what
guys
the
at.
hell's the
I know
matter
where
with
you're
you?
at with the Lions, but how do you see the rest of this division lining up now, Fernando?
I've been telling Dan and Gilbert that the Lions to me aren't those same Lions that we saw. Like they've been struggling to put teams away. I know they had that one outing on that 50-pointer on the Bears, but
Yep.
they're not that team. Like they just they don't know, they haven't found their rhythm yet. I don't know. And then Amon-Ra got hurt yesterday, didn't he?
He limped off. Yeah, we'll see
Yeah,
what
so
happens. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not a big I don't think the Lions are as good as they were last year. To me, that division is a little bit of a roller coaster just because I don't believe in the Bears. I think, yesterday, what a great ending of the game.
Look at
but
that schedule coming up, Fernando, for the Bears, and tell me they make the playoffs. It's tough after this was their easiest game. I think their next 5 games are just like,
well, no, not that. No, it's after this game. This game coming up, they play the Giants.
Right. Okay.
And
But
if
that's still
Scatterby
a
was
good
playing,
pass rush, which they haven't faced. They haven't faced a good pass rush in a while.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
At Vikings, L.
Yeah.
Steelers come there. I'll give it to the Steelers. They go at Eagles, loss. At Packers, loss. Browns come there, win. Packers come there, win. At 49ers, loss. And I'll give them the final game of the season. I'll say they beat the Lions.
Yeah,
So they'd be at a 500 team, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon saying that they can make the playoffs, but
I'm just not a Caleb Williams guy. I'm not a fan. But again, in this, I was pleasantly surprised by JJ. The only thing is he's gonna have to be a better parent.
Mhm.
I get it. You want to win football games, great, they won. But Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison are gonna want to be fed more often. And that's kind of where I'm a little bit like, he didn't keep them fed. They won, but you want to keep them fed. So I'm interested to see moving forward how much more down the field he gets and what they do with him. But again, happy for him. I think JJ's a good quarterback. I think he's going to be fine. I'm just interested to see what that team and what that offense looks like moving forward. Because again, Kevin O'Connell's a good offensive mind, but I'm interested to see what he can do and how he can move this team forward, because they have, obviously they've had some rough, oh God, I hate seeing this person on TV. They have a rough go at it. Ravens come there on Sunday. L for the Ravens. I'll call it right now. I'll say Vikings upset. Bears come there. I'll say that the Vikings win that game. Did they? Wait. Where was the game at? Was that at Detroit?
That was at Detroit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why it was such a huge upset. But it's a division
Wow.
game too. Like,
Oh, I get
that's
it, but still,
yeah.
like that's pretty
And
impressive.
and remember, this was with Sam Darnold, and I think that's the other conversation that we need to have, Fernando, is the biggest thing coming out of Minnesota was like, how do you let two guys go and then you end up with JJ McCarthy here? You have Daniel Jones balling out for the Colts, and then you have Sam Darnold having a great season with Seattle. And for him to kind of show up here and play well, I think that showed a lot. And then especially doing it against a team that, destroyed you in the two meetings last year. The guy that had a big game was Minnesota was Jahmyr Gibbs, and they held
Yeah.
him to his
Yeah.
lowest yardage in this game. So, I mean, like I said, as long as you have Kevin O'Connell and you have what's his name? I always forget his I can't believe I'm forgetting his name.
Who?
The coordinator for the Vikings, Brian Flores.
Oh,
Jeez.
Brian Flores.
Yeah, as long as you have those two guys, you can win games in this league. And so we'll see what happens. But I'm with you in terms of the Lions. I do have concerns, especially when Jared Goff, if you blitz him and you get to him, it just throws him off. And in a playoff game, I just can't trust that, Fernando. It's just,
No.
having a guy like that where everything has to be perfect. What's going to happen if it's not? And that's that you can live like that if you're the Lions.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I knew somebody was gonna bring that up to Gilbert.
Yeah. I
Real
do.
quick, this is for you.
Yeah.
Are the Rams the top three? No. Well, Joaquin, to be honest, I don't think they're a top three defense. To be honest, I think they're a very good team, but I just think that they have struggles.
Yeah.
But Vic, you're more of the this. Is
Yeah. I don't see them as a top 3 defense just because of what we saw against the 49ers. They were a depleted team and they scored all those points. I want to see what they do the next 3 weeks, though, because you get the 49ers, you get the Seahawks, and you get the Buccaneers, who are some of the best offenses in the league this year. And so if you're able to shut all 3 of those teams, or even 2 out of those 3 games, then you're in the top 5 for me. And I get it. Their biggest thing, Fernando, is they have a great pass rush. The secondary help. They need secondary help. And to his question, he was asking if there's going to make another move. Yes, they need. We talked about it. They need secondary help. I know there's been a lot of conversation. I don't know if you've heard this, Fernando, but I brought it up on House of Horns. I don't know where the whole David Njoku came from, but there's been a lot of.
Yeah, I've seen that pop up. Like that, they're not going to do that.
And I get it. I mean, they have a good relationship in terms of trading with the Browns. I'm like, if I'm gonna trade with the Browns, I want to go get Denzel Ward to help me out. I'm not gonna go get David Njoku. And I get it. One of the things that has stood out the last 2 games for the Rams is the fact that they're running more 13 personnel.
This isn't a bad option for them.
Yeah. That honestly, and wouldn't cost him anything. He's a free agent right now. So yeah, Asante Samuel Jr. would be a good option to go get. And I mean,
he's in LA.
Emmanuel Forbes got his first interception yesterday, but it was against the Saints. It was against a rookie quarterback. That's what I'm saying. They're going to get tested the next 3 weeks.
Did you see Eric's article?
Oh, yeah.
He said Tyler Shough has shown flashes, but he needs to put it together or else. Well, yeah, because the Saints are about to have the first overall pick. Their OC is the son of the OC is the dad of the LSU quarterback. So yeah. Just let's go through these real quick, and then we will head out of here. The last night, man, I did not see that coming. I did not see the shellacking coming that Seattle was going to put on Washington. Vic, by halftime, they were up 20, or with 4 minutes left at halftime, they were at 28-0.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, 21 of 24, 330, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. I hate that he does that. He can never just have like no picks. I thought he threw the ball well. Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm telling you, like, this guy might be able to hit the 2,000. He's about to hit 1,000 this upcoming weekend. I wouldn't doubt he gets close to 2,000. So I was very impressed by him. On the other side, man, Jaden Daniels just looked he looked disconnected. Not disconnected in the sense of he played bad. It just, without Terry McLaurin, it's just not the same. And Krosky Merritt, it seems like he might have gotten figured out a bit. Like he wasn't running the ball.
It's his thing. He can't block.
Exactly. And Jaden Daniels, 16 of 22, 153, 1 pick. He did as much as he could. He dislocated his elbow. By the way, I did not make it to this game through it. Like at halftime, I completely fell asleep. Like it was.
You didn't miss much outside of the injury.
Yeah, the time change kind of kicked me in the bowls. But again, I definitely I'm impressed with the Seahawks. You and I both have them as playoff teams. Yep. As a playoff team, I just think that they are very well coached. You have to give credit to their OC is
Clint Kubiak.
Clint Kubiak, thank you. And I know some of us had issues with Clint Kubiak, but I think he's done a really good job with that offense. Sam Darnold and Mac Jones just look completely reborn. I know last year he looked reborn, but this year he's doing it with lesser weapons than what he did in Minnesota. In Minnesota, he had 3 solid receivers, he had a good tight end, and he had good running backs. Here he has okay running backs. He has a great number 1, but then he's spreading the ball around to other guys. So I'm really impressed with what they've done. I think Seattle's a major contender in this. And regardless, if you win the game, you're going to be tired, and they are going to slap teams in the face. So I definitely think that they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs, because I do have them making the playoffs still, by the way.
Yeah, they're gonna give the Rams a big challenge, and I told Gilbert yesterday that the game I'm looking forward to is that game against the Rams and the Seahawks, and part of it is because Mike McDaniel was hired as the Seahawks head coach because they saw how Pete Carroll struggled against both Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan. This is the reason why they brought him in. And you wanna see what he's done. So far, he's 0-1 against Kyle Shanahan this year. He lost that first game of the year. You want to see how he does against.
And they were up in that game. Oh, no. The 49ers were up in that game, sorry.
Yeah, and so that's part of the thing with this, what's going to, going forward, what you want to see from the Seahawks. I've been all in on them. Once I saw them in preseason, and I get it, you don't see much of it. You win 10 games last year with Geno Smith. You come in, and the other thing too that kind of bothers me about, the stigma that we have with some of the players, if they suck somewhere else, we're just like always thinking they're always gonna suck. And like history has shown us that some of these guys end up improving. They end up having better careers. Sometimes you just need to get to a new home. And seeing what we saw from Sam Darnold, look, there's a reason why these guys were top, 10 picks, is because they had the talent. They just need someone to bring it out of them. And you've been on this too, like, hey, sometimes you need to go to rehab. You need to go to Shanahan rehab, or you need to go to McVay rehab.
Go to rehab.
Yeah. Joe Morley,
by the way,
yeah.
No, by the way, Joe, I love it. Yesterday, you get your heart broken by the Raiders yet again.
Yeah.
And when Geno can't get the ball over a defender and the guy just smacks it down, and you decide, you know what, I need to get over this heartbreak. So what do? You go to, what is it, Chavez Ravine.
Yeah, he went to the parade.
You go celebrate the Dodgers buying a second championship. That's great, man. I was so happy for you, Joe. That was definitely exciting for you to go see those guys. Joe. Joe. No, I'm just kidding, Joe. I'm glad that you and all my LA friends, I know my Padre friends will be pissed that I say this, but I'm definitely happy that you guys had your championship. I know you waited numerous years for one, and you finally have gotten 3 out of the. I did not know like when I saw that picture of Mookie like this and he had 4 rings, I'm like, where the shit did this guy get 4 rings out of? And I'm like, oh wait, they've won 3 with the Dodgers. And they've won one with the what's it called? With the
there we go.
One with the Red Sox. So definitely interesting. We're just gonna bring on Gilbert for one last thing. I do want to get his take on Bills Chiefs. That's Joe, are you still drunk? Manny Machado is crying somewhere. Manny Machado. But
didn't he make
Gilbert,
a bet with the fan that he?
Yeah. Ever since that he said that, he's like
having Padres talk right now. What are we doing here?
Well, no, because I congratulated Joe. Joe yesterday saw his Raiders get beat in overtime where Gino got the ball knocked down, and then he went to Chavez Ravine to watch the Dodgers pay for a second championship. So I told him congratulations on that. But
I hope Victor and Joe are happy about the outcome. Be aggressive, but also lose, be competitive, and help the tank. You don't want to win a meaningless game in November, okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, and that's what the Dodgers did. They played stupid the whole year, and then at the end they turned it on. So it's the same thing that we've seen from the Chiefs in previous years. But speaking of those Chiefs, Gilbert, I have to get your thought because you told me you had some thoughts on this. So I have to go back, and I'm glad you came back on. Gilbert, Josh Allen, 23 of 26, 273, 1 touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns. Dalton Kincaid finally comes alive, 6 receptions, 101, 1 touchdown. On the other side, Patrick Mahomes, 15 of 34, 250, 1 interception. Kareem Hunt, 11 carries, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. Gilbert, your thoughts on the Bills versus Chiefs game?
Yeah, the Bills beating the Chiefs in the regular season means nothing, but I'll give them credit for improving since the bye week. They annihilated the Panthers in Carolina. The Panthers just beat the Packers, and maybe that means something. And then I think they.
Oh, by the way, you need to send Vic his check because he celebrated you twice, saying that you called the Panthers beating the Green Bay Packers, and then the Vikings upsetting the
he's being nice. I did not call straight out wins, but I did say they're going to keep it close. So I appreciate you adding more to it, Victor. Thank you. I'll take it. But yes, I did call those 2 being close games.
Well, especially after we got called out for the Chargers game the week before.
Yeah, I even told my boss, who was a big Vikings fan, watch out. I think the Vikings are going to keep it close. And he's like, you're crazy. And so, I got that one right. And then, for this game for the Bills means very little, but they have improved. Again, I got to see it in the playoffs. I can't take you seriously when you've beaten the Chiefs in the regular season and then 0-4 in the playoffs. Thank you, Joe. I've been trying to grow it out. Let's see how long I could go here with this long hair. Now, on the flip side for the Chiefs, I don't want to. It's maybe when I'm 50 and then maybe more money comes my way, I'll be a douchebag and have a convertible.
My brother says you're already a douchebag.
That's true. But I'm a douchebag with good hair, and a lot of people don't have this hair at this point in their life. So
I was about to say at my age.
Yeah, so not that old, but hey,
back in my day,
people lose hair when they're like 20 something. So being close to middle age,
just throwing shade at bald people.
Can I get my point anyways? The Chiefs, and there's proof. People won't believe me here, but I've been saying the Chiefs are not fully back. I've been rolling my eyes. I've seen the Chiefs number 1 or top 3. I've been putting them top 5 because of the benefit of the doubt. But I've been telling people like this offense is not clicking. What is really back about a team that keeps losing 1-score games? What's really back about a defense that's been fatigued? What's back about a team that tends to thrive on letting other teams, blow it or lose games when they're the ones actually blowing it? Now, I get it. The whole losing their left tackle for a month is definitely an issue there. Dan is always wrong, Joe Morley. So I'll give him some slack there for not having the left tackle, but still, you can't have an excuse there. They're 5-4. When have they been fully back? This team lost to the Jaguars not too long ago. I get to beat the Lions. I get to beat the Ravens, but they've been too up and down for me to say they're fully back here. So going into that Buffalo game, I felt like, okay, you're not better than this Bills team. So I picked the Bills here. And I started thinking like, I think it's starting to get to the point where the Chiefs are not going to win a division. I think that streak is over. Maybe they don't care because they're still like, I'd rather take the Chiefs over the Patriots or the Colts. These guys have done nothing for me to gain trust in them. They could make it into a wild card. Imagine getting the wild card. Say you're like the Colts, the 2 seed, and you're getting the Chiefs in the first round. Good luck. You're out of here. You're not going to win. Kiss your surprise season goodbye. You're the Minnesota Vikings of 2025. So I'll leave it at that. But to me, they're not going to win a division. I feel like it could probably be more Chargers Broncos, but it's looking like the Broncos. They just keep winning these bad games here. And just to keep it going, can I talk a little bit about NFC North? Did you guys talk about NFC North?
Yes, I had you here.
Hold on.
Hold on. Go ahead.
At Broncos.
Yes. Thank you for asking that. Yeah.
Chiefs at Broncos.
I think Chiefs win.
Colts at Chiefs.
I'll say Colts win.
Chiefs at Cowboys.
And
on a short week.
Clarify. In a playoff game, I think the Chiefs beat them. In the regular season, I don't think Chiefs care that much.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chiefs at Cowboys on a short week.
Chiefs.
Texans at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Chargers at Chiefs.
I think they'll split. Give me the Chiefs here.
Chiefs at Titans.
Chiefs.
Broncos at Chiefs.
I'm going to say they split. I think the Broncos get them one more.
Chiefs at Raiders.
Chiefs.
Okay. All right. They're at 5-4 right now, right?
Yep.
They would end
11-6, I think he said.
Yeah, 11-6.
But even if you
11-7.
it would be 11-6.
No, they can't be 11-7.
Yeah, 11-6.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's not good enough to catch the Broncos. They might have to sweep the Broncos to have a chance, but I don't know if we have time to do the Broncos schedule, but they're just beating up on bad teams, and they're not. I'll give them credit for that. I don't think they're a good contender, but they're gonna probably win the division here at least. But the Chargers are only one game behind. I know we're pretty much saying the Chargers are done without Joe Alt, but they're still gonna hang around.
Raiders at Broncos.
The Raiders at Broncos. Thursday night. This Thursday night.
Oh, it's Thursday? Okay, Broncos.
Chiefs at Broncos. You have the Chiefs winning that one.
Yeah.
Broncos at Commanders.
Broncos.
Broncos at Raiders.
Broncos. Yeah.
Packers at Broncos.
This is a fraud bowl right here.
Yeah.
Where?
I can't wait for that week.
Where is it?
It's at Broncos.
Give me the Broncos.
Jaguars at Broncos.
Broncos.
Yeah.
You don't have the Broncos losing another game because Jaguars at Broncos, Broncos at Chiefs, and then Chargers at Broncos.
Yeah. The thing here, though, I could see the Broncos losing to the Chargers, and I could see them losing to the Chiefs twice. That's 3 losses right there, and that would be 12-5. Maybe the Chargers could get that. Maybe. But they're not looking good right now. So it's starting to become like a little bit of a nice path for the Broncos. It's not a given.
Unless they pull something out of their ass tomorrow.
Yeah, but I still see this. I could see this team losing in the first round. What if they draw the Chiefs in 2-7 matchup or the Chargers like 3-6? I would rather pick those two teams in the playoffs. But yeah,
if you say 6-7, I'll beat.
Yeah, I do not give a shit about that. No.
And then the NFL comes out with a commercial about it. All right, NFC North, and then we'll end there. Go ahead, Gilbert.
Yeah, I think it is.
Fraud division?
What?
The fraud division?
A little bit, and I'll give you a little bit of thoughts on everything because the Lions are my Super Bowl pick. I am a little worried about them. That's now 3 games where Jared Goff can't do anything playing from behind. Packers, Chiefs, Vikings. What is up with that? Am I overthinking it here? But this offense doesn't look as good. The defense could always be up and down. They're still my pick to win it. The Packers are just straight up frauds. How do you lose to the Browns and the Panthers, tie with the Cowboys, and then you can't even cover like in betting terms? Like they're not a great team. They're a decent team. Jordan Love, like why do people praise Jordan Love when like I looked at it like you beat the Bengals, you beat the Steelers, you beat the Cardinals. Where is his signature moment? Why are we suddenly thinking Jordan Love is a great quarterback? Then here comes the Panthers, who, to their credit, they're improved defensively, but you couldn't get the big touchdown play. You couldn't do anything. Now showing improvement was great. I'm not saying the Vikings are going to steal this division, But remember, the sky was falling when they didn't have a starter. He looks like a better starter. He's still an improving starter, one that has a long ways to go, but he's not as bad as the first 2 weeks. So they might be in the mix. I don't see it, but it's wide open. And then here's the other one, the Caleb Williams one I wanted to get to before I get to this game here.
I asked Fernando about this.
I'm gonna be nice. It was a great game for Caleb Williams, but you're playing the dog shit Cincinnati Bengals defense.
Their defense is so bad.
They're bad. They're bad. But I'll say this, Fernando. For the future,
no Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, that too. For the future, I kind of like what I saw. Like, to Ben Johnson's credit, he said, this is like a preseason game. We're going to tinker with our playbook. They were having trick play after trick play. And I'm like, I love it. I like seeing what works here, what's sticking. Kyle Monaga, go with that guy. He's a hard runner.
They found a running back in him.
He has a physical element that DeAndre Swift doesn't provide. He's been running well, but it's kind of like the Rico Dowdle thing. Like, go to that guy. I don't want to see a split carry. Kyle Monaga give this team physicality. I like the element, and they finally unlocked Colston Loveland. I get it, Fernando. I'm not trying to get carried away, but to me, if they get that against every single team in the league, I say watch out. I liked what I saw from
give them the schedule, the same schedule I just ran you, Fernando. That schedule is tough, Gilbert. Yeah. And then
I'm giving credit to Ben Johnson. I love what he did to experiment against a crappy defense, but that's still the defense that you can't.
The Giants come to the Bears.
I give it to the Bears here.
Bears at Vikings.
I say the Vikings get them again.
Steelers at Bears.
Bears.
Bears at Eagles.
Bears. Yeah.
Huh?
Whoa. No, sorry. Eagles. Sorry.
Oh. Bears at Packers.
Packers.
Browns at Bears.
Bears.
Packers at Bears.
Give me the Bears. So the Packers are frauds.
Bears at 49ers.
Ooh, give me 49ers.
Lions at Bears.
Lions.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them to make the playoffs. And I'll say this, and I want to ask you this because I saw this as a question. Can that defense because that defense is terrible. Like when they won games, they've been able to turn teams over. They only have the Bears. Yeah. They only have one turnover when they've lost. The rest of the time, I think they have like 20 turnovers that they've caused against when they won. So can that Bears defense, can you rely on them to win games?
I don't know right now. Unless they make a move here. They just lost one of their edge rushers too. How do you let Tyler Huntley score 30 points on you 2 weeks ago? Like, everybody wants to say the Bears are on the rise after beating the Bengals, but 2 weeks ago they lost to Tyler Huntley. So that defense is not good. They also allowed 42 points to the Bengals. So that's the thing. He has to figure out the other side of the ball too, Ben Johnson. But I'm gonna give credit to Ben Johnson. Another thing, winning one-score games, beating the Raiders, beating the Commanders, beating the Bengals, it kind of adds to like, okay, we could do this in late game situations. They're still very freaking chaotic and drama-filled, but they're coming out on the right side compared to last year. So I'm giving credit to Ben Johnson. If you look at the numbers, they're kind of like the Cowboys in a sense too. So if they're able to do that against good teams, I'll start really putting some attention into Caleb Williams again and respect, but I'm not ready to say that because it felt like a preseason game, but it was fun. It was an enjoyable game where he caught a freaking touchdown. There was 2 trick plays. He ran for 50 yards. It was a weird game.
I mean, those last 2 minutes were crazy. They were as crazy as,
again, one more thing before we get out of here where I think they were about to score. What the hell was I going to say? Oh, Chase Brown, who do you think you are for the Bengals running back to say, hey, defense, you better go stop. You've done nothing in this league. Like, shut up. Like, I get it. You're maybe 3 years in and you had a good year last year, but you had 40 yards in a shootout. Shut the hell up. Like, let Jamar Chase, an established superstar, talk about the defense. I get it. It's gotten that bad. And that's what you get Duke Tobin and Mike Brown. That's what you also get Joe Burrow. You wanted all offense, right? No defense. That's what you guys get. But Chase Brown, shut up. That's it.
I love that. Ferguson just dropped 2 passes in a row.
I know, I was pissed. He's on my fantasy team.
All right. How are you doing, by the way?
I'm in the playoff mix, but I really need MHJ and Ferguson to go off tonight.
Oh, an image. Whoa, thoughts on? Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow. But
let's leave it for
I
tomorrow.
want to know what your thoughts are tomorrow on his
The
dad.
dad?
What
Yeah.
Marvin?
Well,
Harrison
depends how
Jr.
they do today. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Again, we appreciate you guys. Oh, they're going for it on 4th and goal. We appreciate everybody so much. You guys are the best. We will
No,
be
I think
back
I already
tomorrow.
saw it. I'm ahead.
You're a piece of shit. Oh, he got sacked.
I forgot. I totally forgot that I'm ahead. Yeah.
You have the
Crap.
antenna. See, I told you.
I was
about
like,
the
wait, what?
antenna.
Yeah, the
Rat
antenna.
ears.
Shout out to Victor for giving me the recommendation. I plugged it
Oh,
in.
that's funny. All right. Appreciate you guys so much. You guys are the best. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be back at 5:30 for the 4 Compas. By the way, Dan may be on a little bit earlier, so we'll see how that goes. I know the time changes and everything. So,
Oh, yeah. Well, I struggled yesterday with that time change.
Oh, dude, I told Vic I fell asleep at halftime. Like I was out. Yeah.
I was kind of pissed that Jaden Daniels got hurt at the end. I'm like, don't tell me I have to work right now. I feel bad, but yeah, luckily a coworker took on that story. So yeah.
Oh, there you go. Well, we appreciate you guys so much. You guys are the best. Tomorrow we will be back at 5:30. So make sure you guys tune in to the 4 Compas show. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss because Dan is he wants to talk Bills and Chiefs, as we all know. So we'll see how all that goes. Again, thank you so much for Vic to stepping in and filling in for Gilbert as there was big breaking news. So Gilbert, is Max Crosby or Trey Hendrickson or Minka Fitzpatrick traded tomorrow?
I say Minka does. But just one out of 3 to answer the question.
There you go. Appreciate you guys so much. Gilbert, get us out of here.
Yeah, let's get going here. Enjoy the frenzy. No, what is it? No, trade frenzy.
Trade deadline.
Who gives a shit? But let's get out of here. Trade deadline
And Gilbert's bunny ears.
Oh yeah, and also wait for Jerry Jones's big splash trade is gonna be.
Oh, I told Vic he was kissing babies, holding babies, smiling. I'm like, this bastard.
Let's see what he has.
He's a
he's a carnival barker. But all right, time to get out of here. Nos vamos, pues. Vámonos.